Okay, good morning, Team Alpha. I hope you're all ready for today's sprint planning session. This will be focused on sprint one. This will be our first sprint for the project, the Campus Health Hub. So our goal for this sprint is to lay the foundation of the Health Hub by developing the system for scheduling health appointments and creating an intuitive interface. This session will outline our approach and divide the work among us. So let's just keep things clear and straightforward, and everyone set to dive straight into it.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So let's just revisit our sprint goal briefly. So what we agreed on in the meetings prior was that for print one, we'll be focused on establishing the core functionality. This means we'll just start with the health appointment scheduling system and ensure that our interface is user-friendly. These tasks are crucial because, as you know, they directly impact our users' ability to easily access medical care.
Correct. As you mentioned before, we will be working on the scheduling system and the interface for our project. We chose these two because they were ranked the highest in our product backlog, which we prioritized using the poker method in our last meeting, and with 8 story points for our scheduling system and 10 story points for our interface. This will ensure that our project has a strong foundation throughout, and we can build off of this in a good way.
As a developer, I'll start with the scheduling system. I need to understand what features are most important for our users. This includes looking at how they will select appointment times, the information they need to provide, and how we will confirm appointments with them.
Yeah, definitely, Brent. That sounds like you have a clear starting point. Regarding the user-friendly interface, we also need to consider how users are going to navigate the platform. Simple, intuitive, and accessible. That should be the core guiding principles that we should try to implement into this project.
Also, is very important. We get feedback early as we start to work on those features. Then we can think about how incorporate feedback mechanisms, or maybe we make a beta test with a small group of users.
Yeah, that's definitely a great point, Thiago. Feedback will very much be crucial for the project. For now, let's focus on getting the basics right. So, Brian, how do you plan to approach the development work in this sprint?
First, I'll draft a basic layout for the scheduling system. This includes the user interface elements and the backend logic needed to manage appointments. I'll work closely with Yakin to ensure it aligns with the user stories.
Yeah, I'll be working with Brian to help redefine and make our user stories and acceptance criteria better and more aligned with our goals throughout our sprint. This will help us to have clear targets for what success looks like when we accomplish these tasks throughout our sprint.
Okay, excellent. Let's talk about timelines and checkpoints. We have 2 weeks for this sprint. So, Brian, when can we review the first prototype of the scheduling system? When would you say?
I'll aim for a rough version by the end of the first week. This will allow us to review and adjust early on in the script and
Okay, that
sprint. I mean,
sounds good. That sounds good. Thiago, your insights will be very valuable here. Can you start planning how we may gather feedback once we have something to show to users?
Of course, Jonathan. I mean, I'll be outlining the initial plan for initial user feedback sessions. And I work with joking how we can best integrate with the priorities of our user stories.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Fantastic. So this sprint is mostly about building the solid foundation of the project. So let's keep up the communication lines open and don't hesitate to bring up any challenges either of you encounter along the way. We're here to support each other. So is there anything else we would need to cover today? Anything anyone else has to say?
Nothing for me.
no.
Okay, cool. All right, team. So I'll make a note of all of this in a document using the transcript from the recording so we can just have something to look back on in case anyone wants some more clarity or just to review what was said. And that was the kickoff of our first sprint. we're not just building features here, we're creating something to make a difference in the health community. So let's continue to do our best and get the project completed. So once again, thank you everyone for coming. Your commitment and enthusiasm is appreciated, and let's keep this up for future sprints. So have a great day and see you all later.